all about it.
That was real good. That was money, first of all.
Let's do another one.
Good morning, Vietnam!
It is 7 a.m. in Vietnam right now, and I love playing that clip before we go live because it's always nice to let them know we do still think about them. At least when the movie's playing, I guess. I don't know. Guys, I am Chris Knight, as you can see. For our special edition today, I am dressed out in my best Han Solo outfit. I hope you guys are dressed up and ready for this. But before we do that, let's talk, as we always do, about what happened this week on the Real Review 3000 and KHAOS Central. Let's see here. Let's go over here to our wonderful little thing that helps us cheat, which is called YouTube Studio. Makes it really easy for us. We did another rant this week. We had a unfortunate and untimely passing last Friday of a gentleman who did YouTube with a lot of us and worked with a lot of us here and there. We were on his streams. He was on some of our streams. Some of us worked doing voiceovers for his History with R&R channel. That would be the late, great Admiral Oliver Franklin Doom, or Admiral of Doom, better known as Richard Simpson III. Some problems came around. Some people were talking some crappy stuff about him after he died, and I thought that was ridiculous. You should never talk ill of the dead. So that's what that one's about. If you guys haven't watched it, go over to the channel. Just type in the rant, and you'll find it. It's really simple to find. There's 4 of them out. I feel like kind of hitting our stride there. The ego takes over that one. He kind of insisted that at least he needs one video. And so, he has a Twitter now. I mean, he's getting really demanding. But he has a pretty damn big ego. I mean, he is the ego, so I guess that's how it goes. This week, we also had on Danny's channel, it was on Friday, not Monday as usual, but on Danny Graham's channel, Comic Chat, we were on the Chaotic Conversation, which we did Friday, not Monday. Normally it's Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we talked about our top 5 Star Wars characters. Of course, number 1 for me was Han Solo. Number 2 was our special guest today. We'll get to that here in just a minute. And then we also did on Tuesday the KHAOS list, where we had some great conversation like we always do over on Anzo's channel, Biggaford Entertainment, and again also on the KHAOS Central YouTube channel at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays, we do the Rule of 3. We're working on a new title for that because we've added a 4th member to the KHAOS Central YouTube team, Gaiskar, the Basco Scenarios, his channel. So we'll figure that out. But we did that on Wednesday. Thursday, we had round 2 of our weekly Rumble Tournament of Champions. We had LDG Pixels back on, filling in for Mike Oden. Mike couldn't make it. He had an emergency in the family. So we will just throw his name on the Tournament of Champions wheel for the next season. Because it's not really fair to him. Because of emergency, he couldn't come to try to make it to the Tournament Champions finale, which is next Thursday. That is going to be with Anzo of Biggaford Entertainment, JJ, Sithlord 3827, LDG Pixels, and Shellback TJC. Those are the 4. We're going to see what happens. All 10 topics are already picked because they were the 5 topics that were not picked during their shows. Some craziness will abound, trust me. I have lots of curveballs and lots of stuff to throw at them to make it absolutely worth their while to try their hardest to win. What else? Saturday, we did our Square One over on Danny's channel, Danny Graham's channel, Comic Chat. Square One is a sports show, so if you're interested in that, by all means, you should check that out. If you like sports, we try to do whatever we can to make it really interesting for people. Now, with that said, let's see who is in the chat really quick as I fix my camera, because I hate that this camera, I had to constantly go to a different program to fix it. We have Memes of Destruction. Shadow Hunter, which is in the, he's on the panel. Bee's Nest is here. Let's see here. Who else? Andrew Casali. Andrew, sorry. I'm going to tear up your name if I keep trying. It's horrible. Let's see here. And LDG Pixels is here. Got 7 people watching. Hopefully more people will come. Well, let's just do this and do this now. I have a very special guest tonight. He contacted me last week and said, you know what? I enjoyed being on your channel. I enjoy his channel. We talk quite a bit off of streams and stuff, and he comments on some of my videos. I comment on some of his videos. Great videos over there. It is the one, the only, the absolutely greatest Sith Lord in the galaxy. It is Lord Vader. Lord Vader, how are you today?
I am doing well, my friend. I am honored to be here tonight.
Very good. It sounds like we have a little subspace interference. I know you messaged me on Twitter and said that perhaps your internet's a little slow, so we will bear with you. If you happen to get dropped from the subspace interference, please come right back and we will get you back in. But I am so glad to have you on today. Why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Well, when I'm not hunting down rebel scum, I do like to sit down for a good movie every once in a while. I was having a bit of a slow week, so I decided, hey, since all of this reviewing stuff is all popular with the younglings on the interwebs, maybe I could get more people to join the Empire if I put a friendlier face to the Empire, so to speak, by reviewing films. I was also pretty ticked off about The Last Jedi at the time, and since everyone was airing their grievances, I decided to air my own grievances for what Rian Johnson did to my son in that picture. Because nobody disrespects my son.
Well, that's good to know. That's an excellent way to put it. I think we've talked about this. I did not hate the movie, but I don't disagree with what you're talking about. Your son was not treated very well in that movie. In fact, I'm not sure what the bald man, Rian Johnson or whatever his name is, what he was thinking.
The episode of The Mandalorian gave us exactly what they needed to do. If they would have just had him show up and be powerful, I think most people would have forgiven that film.
Indeed. All right. Well, I know you come with some questions you'd like to pose to our great panelists. Everybody here is a Star Wars fan. Some don't like the prequels, some don't like the sequels, but everybody does like Star Wars. So we're going to bring them in. We're going to give them a chance to talk about themselves, and we're going to do that now. Okay, who just got really loud? Who was that? Okay. All right, guys. This is your opportunity to bow down and pay homage to the greatest Sith Lord of all times, Lord Vader. But first, we're going to give you a chance to talk about yourselves and where you can be found. Austinator, we will start with you. Go ahead and tell everybody about yourself.
Yeah, what's up, guys? I have a YouTube channel. I am at 106 subs. I'm trying to get to 150. I have 3 shows per week. I do a show on Sunday called Shadow Eye. We had that earlier today. We reviewed The Office Season 4. And later on tonight, I am going to be doing a little review on the Royal Rumble tonight. So please go and check that out. Actually, also later on Sundays, you can find me on the Real Review 3000 for the weekly wrap-up. You could also find me on Mondays for JJ, A.K.A. Sith Lord 3827's channel for randomness on at its finest. It's usually a shit show, especially when I'm there. So go and check that out. Thursdays, you can find me on my show Splash Talk. Hey, listen, it's it always turns out to be a shit show.
Hey,
you are echoing.
It's a formatted shit show. Get it right.
Yeah, you're right.
You're echoing, Austinator.
Am I echoing?
Yes.
I don't hear him echoing.
Yeah.
That's on your end.
Bees Nest even hears him in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. I
And
don't hear it.
Do you have echo cancellation, Chris?
I do. Everybody does, but I don't think it matters because I don't have it on. I don't think. Yeah, I don't have it on. So I don't know. All right, Austinator. Anything else?
Yes, I do a show on Friday called Good Old Wrestling, where we just talk good old wrestling. Also, this week it's just gonna be a live discussion. So, what's gonna happen? I don't know. Is Nindroid gonna break another computer? Who knows? Go and check that out on Friday. Also, I have Twitter at the Austinator 17. So if you ever wanna just message me there, go ahead and do so at the Austinator 17. Also, I have Discord at the Austinator. And you can find me occasionally backstage on Geeks Enjoy Nerderotica. So go check him out. I'm basically everywhere. I'm a stream whore. I have a special corner just for me.
I gave him.
I have a little spray paint can where I just spray paint my name. So that way they know it's my corner.
You did leave my name there because it's my corner first. As soon as I decide it's not yours, it's no longer yours.
Yeah, you know what? I just put tape on it, but I just spray paint it. So.
At least it's not the T corner like in Orville, okay?
Just lick it, Austinator. Then it's your corner forever.
All right. With that said, Austinator, if you're still echoing, which people say you are, please go ahead and reboot, or not reboot, but jump out, refresh, and come back in. We'll see if that fixes it.
All right.
All right. Elihu Who, why don't you go next and tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found?
Well, I am Elihu Who, and I can be found everywhere and nowhere at the same time. But I can be found especially this Wednesday, 12 noon specifically at 12 noon, with my show called What's Up with the Universe, where we are discussing the moons of Jupiter, continuing the tour of the moons. And that can also be found on JJ's Randomly. Randomly, I can be found there sometimes. And LDG's channel, Nurse. I forgot he changed it so many times.
Right.
Let's see, who else? I can be found on the Real Review 3000, this channel, and the Chaotic Central. And Lord Vader, if you're looking for the little child, he's hiding in the pots, okay? That's where he is.
That's where he's been. I've been looking all over that guy.
He's hiding in the pots. He's throwing small. I took a picture for you, okay? There's proof.
The Empire thanks you for your service.
Thank you, Lord Vader.
Up next is Nindroid 243. Look at that. You got the wrong Sith Lord on there, but that's okay. I think maybe Lord Vader will forgive you, but that's up to him.
I will forgive you this time.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you, grandfather. Okay, so you guys can find me on my own YouTube channel, Nindroid243, where you guys can find me on Galactic Chat every single Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, as well as on Austinator's channel for many shows such as Flash Talk and also Shadow Eye, and also on Twitter at Nindroid243.
Awesome. Up next is JJ, A.K.A. Sith Lord 3827. JJ, why don't you tell everybody where you can be found, what you're up to, and all that great stuff. You're muted. Always.
Maybe he was muted for that one.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was a great intro. Yeah, next person, please. No, since everybody's being rude, I just want to say welcome, Lord Vader. But anyway, what's up, everybody?
What'd you say, Lord Vader?
I said my headphones were cutting out. I'm sorry. Thank you for the nice welcome, Sith Lord 3827.
Volume kind of low.
Let me see if I can turn his volume up here. Hold on.
Turn him all the way up.
I will. All
I
right.
think the rebels are messing with the
Wait. Hey, Elihu, stop it. All right. Lord Vader, go ahead and speak real quick.
That wasn't me. Can you hear me
I know.
now?
Yes, that's much better, I think. Is it?
Yeah, it's better than what it was.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I'll try to speak up.
All right.
All right,
Go
what's
ahead,
up?
JJ.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy JJ. You can find me a little bit of everywhere because I'm just like that thing you can't get rid of. You don't have medicine for it, so you just give up. You can find me here on Sundays for the wrap up most of the time. Later on tonight, you'll find me over on Anza's channel for the WandaVision watch party. I mean, not watch party, roundtable. Pardon me. And then later on tonight, which there's not one for this week, you can either find me on Hanstar's channel for Name That Tune or Jackbox Game Night, Monday nights. You can find me on my channel. I do a weekly live stream called Randomness at its Finest. Random panel, random topic situation. Come by, check it out, like, share, subscribe. You know all the fun stuff that goes with it. Tuesday nights, you find me back over on Biggaford Entertainment, which is Onzo Hodges' channel again, for the KHAOS list with Onzo and Danny Graham, Chris Knight, LDG Pixels, Elihu Who, and Gaiskar. Come by, check that out, see what Onzo throws at us for topics. And then last but not least, you'll find me on Thursday nights every once in a while back here on Chris's channel for the Weekly Rumble. Sometimes as a competitor or a combatant, as I'd like to say, or sometimes he likes to change it up and I come in as a wild card. And then last but not least, you can find me on Twitter at SithLord3827. Where sometimes I tweet, sometimes I retweet, sometimes I don't. It's a lottery. Come check it out. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Not a problem, JJ. All right. Up next, we'll go to Gaiskar. Gaiskar of the Basco scenario. Please tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found.
What's going on, mi gente? That's right. The Basco scenario. You can find me on my channel where I post video clips of COD and Street Fighter and other randomness. You can find me here on the Real Review whenever Chris has the kindness of his heart lets me jump on in. And also at 9 p.m. for the Biggaford Entertainment One Division Roundtable. Mondays at 9 p.m. with Danny Graham's Chaotic Conversation on Chaos Central. And on Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Chaos List, where we discuss the 3 topics Onzo just decides to throw out our way. And Wednesday, 7 p.m. Rule of 3, which is going to be changing the name since we're 4 now on the panel, which I'm pretty proud of being invited on. And also 10 p.m. up with my homeboys that I grew up with since I was 3 years old, Onzo and also Roberto, for the OOC, where everybody can just join us, get things off your chest. It's a real laid-back atmosphere. Everybody's involved. Love it. So if you ever have to get things off your chest, definitely that's the channel to do so. And thanks again for having me, Chris.
Not an issue at all. Thank you for being here. We'll go right below you and go to Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter, please tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found.
Hello there, everyone. You can find me on my YouTube channel at Shadow Hunter. We were meant to be doing the chase yesterday, but we are working on something that will improve the product tenfold. It'll happen this Saturday coming, and trust me, it'll be worth the wait. You can find me on Twitter at ShadowHunter419, and I just do random shit on there. I don't really know what I'm doing on there most of the time, but who cares? I'll be doing a video, I think Tuesday, if I can be bothered to, on 10 sequels that did better than the originals. So cheers for having me on, Chris, and I can't wait to see what topics we discuss.
All right.
I love his fucking accent, man. That's crazy.
Yes. Well, he is from Great Britain.
All right. I'm from the Commonwealth.
No, he's not.
He's Australian, huh?
No, he's not.
No, wait a minute. Hunter,
I'm
aren't
from
you
England,
Irish?
No, I'm
No.
English.
That's not an Irish accent.
Mm-mm.
Okay, my
English.
bad. I
He's from-
thought you were Irish. Sorry.
He's from the UK.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Hey, man.
jeez.
Fuck off,
Speak
colony people. Get your shit straight.
All right. I see we got Zach here. David's in the chat. Thank you guys for being here. Share this out. Tweet this out. It's the pen tweet on my Twitter right here. Go to @ChrisKnight5150 and you can find the pin tweet there, and please tweet it out. Up next, Nindroid243. Nindroid, please tell everybody about yourself.
Oh, okay. You guys can. All right. You guys can find me. Yeah, like again.
Yeah, he did it before.
He's already done it.
Okay.
Or have you?
Yeah.
No,
I did.
Did he?
I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm sorry.
You moved everybody
That's
around, Chris.
That's my mess up. Hey, I'm allowed some airing on my own show. Then last but not least, and absolutely the sunshine to everybody's day, is Dandelion Fluff. Dandelion, please talk about yourself for a good 15, 20 minutes. I'm going to put you in solo so everybody feels really good about themselves.
Thanks. That's awesome.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead and tell everybody about yourself.
I'm here in Vancouver today because the hair is enormous. That's about all I have to say. I have no YouTube channel. I just like lurk mostly in chats, occasionally on a stream. And yeah, I just like to hang out and talk about all kinds of things I don't know much about. So, it's all fun.
Yay. That's awesome. Well, guys,
Thanks.
I thank you all for being here today. And Lord Vader, again, thank you so very much for humbly gracing us with your presence. I really do appreciate that. Now, Lord Vader here has asked us to convene to talk about Star Wars. And like I said, he'll have some topics here he would like to ask us our opinions on. So, Lord Vader, what would you like to know our opinions on?
Well, the first thing I would like to ask everyone is probably the biggest topic that I was thinking about earlier today, which would be, if you could have chosen a different path for the sequel trilogy, what would your plan have been? Would you have cared to see more Legends stories told, or would you have rather seen a completely different storyline? I have a couple ideas myself, but I would be very interested to hear what you think about it.
KJ, if you would you have kept the same course, or would you have done something different? What would you have done with the sequel trilogy?
Well, in all honesty, with 7, 8, and 9, I didn't completely hate where the story ended up, but there is a lot of context that was missing. There was a lot of explanation missing, and there were characters that were really, really shit on. They should have had the original 3 back together again, at least one time on screen. They missed their opportunity on that. I think they should have treated Rey a lot differently, and I think they should have treated Finn a lot differently. But as far as the characters, I didn't mind the characters. The eventual storyline wasn't that bad. It wasn't that great, but it wasn't that bad. It's just, in The Last Jedi, we really did need some context to why Luke ended up where he did. If they'd have added that, or even with Episode 7, start out with a little backstory. Let's find out how we ended up to where we're at. You see the wreckage on Jakku. How did it get there? They talk about the Battle of Jakku. I would have loved to have seen something like that. For like the first scene and a half of The Force Awakens, to give us some context of where we're at. Instead of saying, okay, blam, we're in the Star Wars universe. Blam, here's a couple of characters it could have been wrote a lot better than what it was.
What I had heard was that everything that wasn't answered in the films was actually in comic books, and like children's novels.
Well, okay, yeah, I know that, but
yeah,
here's the thing, and this goes with any property, okay? Only your diehard, hardcore fans of any IP will look into the books, comics, and stuff like that. As the typical moviegoer, we shouldn't have to do that. The books are meant to expand onto the story, not add to the story.
Or explain the story.
Explain, yeah. The explanation should be on screen in some form or fashion. Now, in books and comics and stuff, if you want to go into greater detail, then yeah, fine, do that. But your typical moviegoer is going to be completely lost if you don't have explanation or context within your film.
Indeed. Okay.
You shouldn't have to devise supplementary material to understand what's going on in a storyline.
No, you should not.
No, exactly.
Gaiskar, what would you have done?
Honestly, if I take all 3 movies, if you look at them independently, then you can possibly enjoy them, but I would just scrap all 3, to be honest with you. I would have gone more the EU route, Legends route. There was great stories there that they could have just put onto screen that would make absolute sense to the continuity of the whole story. There was no continuity in this trilogy right here. It was sporadic, at least. the fact that you have to go to books to make sense of what you watched previously, it shows how badly planned it was. I completely agree with JJ on it. You know, the stories, yes, they had merit. The plot holes, that they do characters justice, absolutely not. They completely killed Finn. They completely killed. Forgot what the other girl's name was.
Rose?
Yeah, her. You know, they completely killed what could have been an amazing story. Just talking about it the other day. You know, Finn should have been the Jedi. You know, and in my opinion, he should have been the one that, you know, force sensitive. Not, oh, was he force sensitive right at the end of the whole freaking 3 movies, right? It was poorly done. What JJ tried to do at the end, I respect that, but like I said, there was no continuity without the new trilogy. I would have gone with storylines from, you know, Timothy Zahn from the books. You know, he did an amazing job back in the day when Star Wars was dead, reviving the Star Wars franchise through those books. You know, I would have definitely just gone through that, in my opinion. So yeah, I would have definitely Legends for my. That was the question. So I would have gone Legends.
Awesome. Austinator, what would you have done?
Well, the problem, and I think the tricky thing is that I think the story that we got with the trilogy could have worked, but the problem is the execution of it was done horribly. The first problem that is easily there is that there was obviously no real plan for the sequel trilogy, and that was their first mistake early on. They should have had I guess more so like a list of like, okay, here's what we got to do, because the problem is also that they had 2 directors. Now, had they had like a little like list of say, here's what we got to do, then okay, then 2 directors would work. But firstly, they should have just gone with 1 director for all 3. And I know I'm going to show myself out here for a second, but I did a Last Jedi rewrite video, and I was able to do that. You can have that type of movie, but there are things that needed, the small things that needed to be changed in The Last Jedi would have fixed The Rise of Skywalker. And The Rise of Skywalker's problem was it was trying to be damage control in a sense. And the movie was too short. The movie's pacing was really off. Palpatine as the villain, to me, I would have just had Kylo Ren be the main villain, because that's what they were setting up in Last Jedi. There's no need for him to be there. And Rey, I feel like Rey needed more training, because I can't buy that magically she knows how to do all these things in the span of a year. Like, she's able to, like, force heal people.
Well, Austin, she did have a little training now, because in between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, there was about a year. So she had time to do some training.
Well,
not a lot, but not a lot. What was that again?
All right. I'm sorry, I lost my headphone there for a second.
No, I didn't mean to cut, Austin off. It was just, instead of from 7 to 8, which was like literally one gigantic movie, there's about a year difference in between 8 and 9.
Yeah. All right, Austinator, is that all?
Well, I was going to bring up is that, well, yes, there's like a year of training, but how would she be able to figure out force healing from? Because I don't believe that Leia would learn that, because we don't know how much. We know Leia had training, but I don't believe that Leia ever learned about force healing.
But remember, she took all of Luke's books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has all the books in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, it's learn the Jedi way by numbers.
Yeah.
Which, if I remember right, though, doesn't Yoda burn the tree that they're all in?
No, but you see it in one of the movies. She pulls it out of drawer in the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, after
that's right.
After Rey and Chewie leave, is when the tree burning happens. She's done taking the book. She done.
So Luke gives it to him. Gives them to her.
No. He still thinks the books are in the tree.
She
She stole them.
Okay.
Yeah, she
well, that's that. Hey, that's perfect Jedi,
the Jedi
isn't it?
way.
Jesus.
The real complaint is that she received no training in the first film when she kicked the crap out of Kylo. That's where the real problem is.
Yep.
I have an answer to all of that, and unfortunately,
I have an explanation of how I would have done them all.
well, okay, I'll get to you here in just a second. I was just going to say, as far as the training goes, the explanation I always use is that George Lucas went too far into his exposition and the prequel trilogies when he dove in full on to the mysticism of the Force. He took it and made it more of a science, and he gave a name of metachlorians to it, and basically stated that the more metachlorians that a person has, the more ability that they could have within the Force. Not only that, but that the metachlorians make sure that the balance of the Force stays even. So I've always stated that, while it may not be a popular theory, that they basically ran off of that and basically stated that since the balance of the Force was one-sided, that because of her metachlorian count, and it makes sense being Darth Sidious's granddaughter, that absolutely it would have exploded in her to accelerate her training. Now, I don't like that theory, but I think that's what Disney would have said, or Disney doesn't care what we think, but that's kind of how I always explained it. And unfortunately, that's something that George Lucas gave them that gives them a right to do it that way. But I don't agree with it. But that's kind of how I've always explained it.
But that's actually not 100% correct, because I was the chosen one. I had the most midichlorian of anyone, and I still needed training.
I know, and that's the thing.
Magical helping hand, it would have been me.
I understand that, and Lord Vader, you're absolutely right.
Anakin needed over a decade of training to get where he was.
Okay, well, Abrams, literally, he had a form of a story treatment laid out, how the story was supposed to go.
I don't buy that, but okay.
But Roundhead kind of went off on his own direction. Okay,
because he was told he could.
I know, and I know that's where they made their.
Before the films came out, he didn't have to answer any questions. He just had to pose them, and that's why it was fun.
No, the reason why I say he had somewhat of a story treatment, because he had Lawrence Kasdan's ear, which he's been involved with Star Wars for a long time. But when Johnson went off in his own direction and nobody stopped him, that's where the first mistake began.
Yeah.
Even though that I know they say that this Force Awakens was a ripoff of A New Hope, but still it was the starting of a new original storyline, so to speak. This whole Force download thing, okay, it makes sense. No, listen, it makes sense now in its completion, because her midichlorian count was so high that she was able to push back at Kylo Ren and kind of dig into his brain. That's where, when he did that, that's kind of like what unlocked that inside of her. It's like, oh, I can do this too. Let's fight back. But even though,
all about context.
Yes, there was no context behind it. It was just a trick they showed. Like, all right, what the hell is this?
I think it was sort of a narrative expediency thing, right? They were telling the story. They only had so much time to tell it in, for whatever reason. And in order for her to be able to beat Kylo, she had to have at least an equivalency of powers, right? So for whatever reason, however they had to get there, for the sake of the narrative, that's what they had to do. So,
well, I say that about a lot of things they did in the trilogy. They were going to do it, and the jump was, oh, look, we can do it this way, and it's done. Elihu, what would you have done?
Okay, I need to make sure I was muted myself.
Yeah, you're good.
The last 3 episodes, it was a good premise, but it takes place in Tatooine. Rey's a scavenger. She could have been a Force-sensitive scavenger that happened upon Obi-Wan's old living dwelling, found some old Jedi texts, learned some stuff, and found out that the ways of the Force is not coincidence. It's the will of the Force. and have Finn, the Stormtrooper Trooper, be Emperor Palpatine's grandson.
Sorry, just for my brother Anzo, I just have to. He made him a fucking janitor.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I can't argue with that. I really can't.
Yeah.
I mean, all you heard was
It's like the 1930s all over again.
Mhm. For sure.
Go ahead.
What else, Elihu?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, if Finn would have been Palpatine's grandson, it would have make a lot more sense because, hey, he's a Force-sensitive Stormtrooper who's actually good, going up in the ranks, and all of a sudden something happens and he runs into Rey, and it's all will of the Force, and he realizes, oh, this is all the bad stuff. So they get to talking, and they realize that this is Jedi stuff. She explains the Jedi process, the metachlorians, the M word about us, how it's Force-sensitive. He looks at some of the paperwork that she finds. He goes searches for more Jedi with Rey. They find Luke. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
It should not have been her. It should have been somebody else. I'm like, did not make sense about how she was so Force sensitive. All of a sudden, she can do backflips Jedi style and wield a lightsaber without cutting her own hand off. Because it takes training to use the wield a lightsaber.
It does. It does.
Not a regular blade.
Dandelion, what would you have done? Would you have kept it? Would you have changed it?
Well, I'm kind of with JJ. I didn't mind the story, didn't bother me. I had a lot more issues with the prequel movies than I did with the sequel movies. I know everyone, like a lot of people, had a lot of issues with the sequels, but I've only read a little bit of the other book, like a few of the other books they kind of wrote in the universe, and so I'm always fairly easygoing about them, not entirely staying true to the original story and stuff. I agree with things like Finn getting a short shift, short shrifted, and there were some characters they should have put them to better use. They really kind of wasted some really good characters, and I mean I think it was sort of partly so that they could squeeze in more of the, Han Solo character, Leia, and all that kind of thing, or something. I don't know. It just seemed like either they needed to make the movies a bit longer so they could really dig into those new characters more, or just don't tease us with them, right? Don't tease us with potentially awesome characters when you can have bland NPCs or something like that, right?
I mean, before the movie even came out, people might have seen all the publicity that Lucas was with the guy who played Finn. It was everywhere. It's like, okay, this guy plays a major role in the movie. No, he doesn't.
Hey, Pickles.
Hey, LDG.
What's going on, everybody? What's happening?
Looking good today.
I still love your wallpaper, man. Your background.
Round 2, the championships is here. What's going on?
I want your background.
That's right, guys. It's gonna be fun.
Don't get too cocky there, buddy.
Just wait, brother, because I cannot wait. Yeah, that's right. LDG is gonna bring home the gold. I am going for it all. We are gonna rumble like you never heard us rumble, man. I am ready for.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
LDG, while you're digging yourself out of the pit, notice where I'm sitting. This is where I'm going to stay.
On a chair.
Right on top. It's the top, not the bottom. You made it, Chris.
That's right. You can not even the.
Whoops.
You mute it, Chris.
Chris,
you muted.
Dandelion, do you have anything else you would like to say?
No, that's all. I'm good. I don't have more to say. It's all good.
All right.
No, please. I'd like to hear your end. Keep going with it.
Well, it's kind of really that's sort of mostly what I had to say.
Back again. That's right. That's right, baby.
That's okay.
Keep me down.
Damn, you're rude. You're talking over the young
sorry.
lady like that. What's wrong with you?
Go ahead. My apologies.
All right, listen. I got to get to who has not gone. Nindroid and Shadow haven't gone yet, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everybody else did. And then LDG, I'll get you on. We'll let you talk, and I'll let you say all your all your smack talk you want to JJ. Nindroid, what would you have done? Would you have kept it, changed it, modified it?
So basically, I'm actually a sequel trilogy fan. I know people are not, but I am one of them. And here's the thing, though.
Hey, dude, what's going on?
I would
man?
actually change. I
Not
would.
much.
I like this. I like this that they told. I just wish they changed.
Am I hearing roboting?
Nindroid, you're breaking up really bad. If you want to go and back out and then come back in, reload. I'm gonna let Shadowhunter go because you're breaking in. You're breaking up. All right. Shadow, go ahead and tell us what you would have done, please.
Well, first off, the most important thing would have made Finn the main Jedi, because the concept of a stormtrooper being a Jedi, you're just fucking stupid. Pass that up. I would have had Luke just more of in a tormented manner, how like Darth Maul was, but instead of the hatred and anger Maul was feeling, Luke would have been remorse and regret. I probably would have had Rey killed in episode 8, and it be Kylo versus Snoke for episode 9.
That would have been awesome.
Luke probably killed by Snoke in the final battle, and it could be revealed that Snoke had the dark saber or something. And then probably episode 9, Kylo kills Snoke, because I feel like Snoke was just wasted. He was just too bland, and obviously something that there's a lack of in the sequel trilogy is lack of continuity. And I feel like if you have a continuous main villain, which will be Snoke, the trilogy will do well, because you have that in both the original and prequel trilogy, which is Palpatine, and if you have the sequel trilogies with Snoke for all three instead of just 1.5, it will just make more sense, and just it'll get into your brain that this is person you to look out for. And yeah, Finn, Kylo would have worked together in episode 9. I probably would have seen Kylo sacrifice himself so Finn would have finished the job. And yeah, Finn would have probably been revealed to have been Mace Windu's grandson, or maybe a long lost Jedi relative, maybe. But
Nice.
That's what I would have done.
Nice. That sounds like an awesome idea there. Anything else?
That's pretty much it.
All right. So Nindroid, go ahead and tell us what you would have done now.
Okay, so I
That's
would have
better.
actually done. I would have actually renamed episode 8 "The Lost Jedi," actually. And basically, my whole thing would be, a lot of people have problems with Luke in that movie. I actually like the way that they took with him, but I would have changed one little thing, and it would be when he united the saber to Ben, basically. I would have actually changed that Luke had a wife, Mara Jade, from the EU. Yes, Mara Jade. And basically, he saw that Ben would have killed Mara Jade. So he allowed the dark side, just like Anakin, he was corrupted by the dark side of love to ignite that saber, basically. And
Anakin
then
was not corrupted by the dark side.
What?
Basically.
Anakin was not corrupted by the dark side. He learned the truth. Ain't that right, Lord Vader?
Well,
You watched the movie, dude?
Okay.
You got a super chat, by the way.
Oh, sorry. I'm doing 5,000 things at one time. Let's see here. $1.99 super chat from Comic Chat. Mace should have come and saved both Rey and Kylo. Well, Danny, you always want Mace in it. Not that I blame you. Mace was a cool character. So thank you very much, Danny. I appreciate the $1.09 super chat. Anything else, Nindroid?
Yes, actually. So for The Lost Jedi, I would have changed the whole Canto Bite thing. Instead, I would have actually made that Coruscant. Actually. And I would have made that Finn found Mace Windu's lightsaber. during that journey. I would have also done many things differently. I would have actually kept Kylo Ren alive, and I would have said that he was the dark side. Okay, like he is the embodiment of the dark side, and Rey is the embodiment of the light. So both of them are like a dyad of the Force. They have to both be together, basically as a dyad, to bring justice to the Force, to bring a balance of the light of the dark.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, that's
okay.
that.
Okay, no, you're fine. You're fine. LEG. We're gonna.
I have a plethora of notes and all of that because I was planning on doing a Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker rewrite video, so you know.
Okay. Yeah. All right. LEG. I am sorry, but we have people talking. I apologize, but what would you like to say?
Regarding to how I would redo Star Wars?
Mm-hmm.
Chris,
like the
last three.
The sequel trilogy.
Oh, the last three? Very simple. I would have stopped the Skywalker saga at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9 would have been a whole new 6-movie trilogy, far, far away in another different, completely, absolutely different galaxy, maybe now or some other time, and use the original line that Lucas gave us in order to stay the same and segregate at the same time. I don't think the last 3 movies should have been anything related to Star Wars, the current canon, whatsoever.
Okay. Nice. All right. All right. So, Lord Vader, I will go after you. But, Lord Vader, what would you have done different for the sequel trilogy?
For one thing, the main thing I would have tried to do is find a way to keep the fans of the original characters from feeling like they were disrespected. What they did with Han, Luke, and Leia, we didn't want to see them come back as broken failures. And that's all they did with the sequel trilogy. Every achievement they had at the end of Return of the Jedi is pretty much flushed down the crapper when you watch these new sequel films.
Yep.
One thing I would have done is probably introduce a new dark side threat. Because the prophecy was that I was supposed to destroy the Sith and bring balance to the Force. So if the Sith survive in some way or another, Palpatine, like they had, I didn't really achieve anything when I chucked the Emperor down the reactor core of the Death Star. So what they could have done instead was have a new face of the dark side arise, a brand new order, and that is where the threat comes in. The sequel trilogy. Luke Skywalker could have had his Jedi Temple, where he has the Force ghosts of all the prequel trilogy teaching as masters in his school. The first thing Luke teaches his Padawans is how to commune with the previous masters of old. So you could have had Mace Windu, Ki-Adi-Mundi, anyone you wanted. Plo Koon, throw him in there. I don't care. Have some classic Star Wars characters mixed with prequel characters. Combine it all together. And then this new dark side threat comes in and starts feeding fear into the mind of Kylo Ren. You could keep him. He had a pretty wizard intro in The Force Awakens. It just turned him into Twilight later on, which was my problem with the character. What they could have done is have this new dark side threat feeding fear into Kylo's mind, giving him these horrible visions of what will happen once they arrive in the galaxy. They could be from a completely different galaxy. And they could be telling Kylo the only way he will be strong enough to defeat him and save his whole family is if he taps into the dark side, something Luke will not allow him to do. And they could have this dark side presence taking the form of me, so we could actually see myself, although it's not really me. It's just a dark vision from this other dark side force, pulling Kylo in deeper and deeper. So Kylo could be making this sacrifice. Like, I know It's wrong, but it's the only way I can save the ones I love. And they could have had a very deep psychological storyline with him. It's not just like, oh man, my mom and dad didn't pay attention to me. I think I'll stop wearing black and, listening to Marilyn Manson to freak them out. And then I'm going to just kill everybody because I'm a wolf and I'm going to be like Darth Vader.
Wow.
Kylo was. He was an emo little punk who was trying to emulate me. And they even say he's afraid he'll never be as strong as me. He's based all in insecurity. And he could have been a powerful character who did the wrong things, trying to save the ones he loved. So when he turns back to the light at the end, they could still have their little romance with him and Rey if they just really wanted that. But they could have had it be that he was actually good. He was trying to save people he loved. He made wrong decisions, and then he comes back to the light at the end, and it could have been more powerful that way. And it also would have echoed my fall to the dark side. I fell to the dark side trying to save the ones I loved. If Kylo did the same thing, there would be the poetry, the rhyme that George Lucas always talked about in the Star Wars trilogy. I would have personally named this new dark side presence the Thule. And have any of you seen Hellboy 2 and the Golden Army? Have you seen that film?
Seen what now?
Have any of you seen Hellboy 2 and Golden Army? With Prince Nawada?
Yeah.
Think of Luke Goss in that film as Prince Nawada. If he was the dark side presence in this film, imagine a Sith Lord like Prince Nawada, who's going to sweep in and lay waste to everything.
That would have been freaking awesome. That would have been awesome because I love that character.
Mm-hmm. Would have been pretty wizard, I think. Pretty wizard. So I would have had Finn be trained in the Force as well. But I would have also had him depicted more like Sergeant Todd from the movie Soldier. If you've seen that film with Kurt Russell. It's a story about someone who was taken as a child and turned into a soldier. And it shows his gradual reclaiming of his humanity, having to learn how to feel again and how to be a human
Sounds like
being.
Universal Soldier.
It's pretty much that same type of concept.
Huh.
Showing Finn becoming human again, but also learning he has the Force inside him. Could be a very powerful thing. Instead of just having him be a gag through 8 and 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like.
Anything else?
I like her. She had the stones to stand up.
Well, I'm surprised.
Wait,
What is that in the background?
what's in the background? Is that you, LEG, or is that somebody else? Because I'm hearing.
I am hearing Tim.
That's probably Tim in his backstage.
Tim. No, it's not
All right.
backstage.
Oh.
It's Tim, though. It sounds like Tim. Just mute him.
Weird.
Oh, is he here?
I heard Tim's voice.
Yeah, so did I.
Huh. All right. Anything else, Lord Vader?
Mainly just showing some more respect to the original characters. Having Leia be in charge of the Galactic Senate would have been interesting to see. Have it based on Coruscant, link it to the prequels. And if they had to take Luke out of the game, at least give him a good reason for it. Like, perhaps as Kylo was starting to turn bad, he kills Luke's son in a temple. So the reason Luke doesn't fight him and sends Rey to do it instead is because he's afraid he may turn to the dark side and kill Kylo out of anger because Kylo killed his son. Do something like that. Like, I can't fight him because if I do, I may turn into my father and the galaxy does not need another Darth Vader. Something like that. If they just had to have him be moody, I would have preferred to have Luke just maintain his optimism and hope and just have him in more of a Yoda capacity where he teaches Rey. And I liked Rey in the first film. I didn't like that they had her win against Kylo in the first movie because that totally nerfed your villain. You can't have the main antagonist get beaten in the first film. It just doesn't work because it skips to the third act where he's defeated, because if he's beaten the first time out, which he has no training, later on in the series, where is the threat? You know she's just going to kick the crap out of him again because she's just more powerful after being trained. So I would have had Luke just dealing with other dark side forces, perhaps helping Kylo and Rey, sacrificing himself like Ben, possibly at the end against the main dark side antagonist. Han, I wouldn't have had him just leave his family and just be a deadbeat. The main thing was like all of the character growth we had in the original trilogy was just flushed down the toilet with these characters. Han's character growth was that he was a scoundrel, but now he's a decent man. He fights for what's right, and he's with the person that he loves. But then in the sequel trilogy, it's, nope, let's just have him be a bum that never shaves and swindles people all across the galaxy. It's a character regression, not progression. So I would have just killed the character and shown them respect. Kill them if you have to for dramatic purposes, but don't kill them as failures. That's all I have to say.
All right. Basically, long and short of what I would have done is Heir to the Empire, the Thrawn trilogy.
No problem.
Thank you.
I would have done that.
I like that.
Who's... Oh, okay. I got you. But I would have done Heir to the Empire. I mean, I thought that that's kind of what they were trying to do, but they did it very horribly. The twins, Mara Jade would have been in that. But Thrawn introduced Thrawn that way. Because think about it this way. I'm not saying that Disney thought this far ahead, but now that they're talking about doing the Ahsoka series, boom, Thrawn could be in that. I mean, it's like it would round everything and bring everything together very, very nicely. And I think that they just totally screwed the pooch on the ability to do something like that. First off, I think I might speak for a lot of people. When we heard Disney bought Star Wars, we were all like, oh my God, what will they not do? It wasn't, oh my God, they're going to throw everything away. What? So I was hopeful with all the EU that they would have, kept everything and worked in the EU with stories that were designed and revolved around canon stuff. Who's eating or doing whatever? Is that you, Elihu?
Nope, that's not me.
I hear stuff moving around. Okay, sorry.
Chris, I got you're talking. I'm sorry. What was that?
It's probably mine doing the power cables.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, Chris, I'm gonna drop a link in the chat. You're talking about the Thrawn trilogy.
Yeah.
There's this guy I watch. I think he was on one of Mary's Wednesday Night Mayhems. His name is Darth Angelus or Angelus. He makes like 6-7 minute shorts, animated shorts, and he's doing the story of the Thrawn trilogy.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna throw that link in the chat. Everybody, if you want to check it out, it's very entertaining. For as short as it is, he's doing all the work himself, or him and a few people. It's not great animation, but he's telling a story with it. So
that's perfectly fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
But I think if they had done that and not thrown out the EU, because like I said, the Thrawn trilogy and Heir to the Empire are widely accepted as the sequel trilogy before we got the sequel trilogy. They picked up pretty much like 5-6 years after Return of the Jedi. And I think they do a very good job. They honor all legacy characters. And Disney just totally missed out on the opportunity to take something that was handwritten for them already and basically cut and paste it into a movie script and just add your visuals. They did pretty damn good on the visuals for most of them. I think Force Awakens was more of a JJ look. I kind of think that when we got to The Last Jedi, it was a little closer to Star Wars, and then when we got to Rise of Skywalker, that was it looked like Star Wars. So, even if JJ had been involved, I'm not sure what we would have gotten for the first one, but I still think we would have gotten a much better product had they not thrown out the EU stuff and if they had used the widely accepted by most EU and canon fans as the sequel trilogy, which was the Thrawn trilogy, in my opinion. That's what I would have done. So, what else would you like to know, Lord Vader?
Well, it doesn't like Kyle's trying to say something.
What was that?
Someone say something for a moment there.
Okay, there's a delay. I think you have. Do you want to back out and come back in and see if that resets everything? If you want to refresh your Streamlabs or StreamYards, see if that helps you.
Sorry, my internet's just like a hub right now, so it's
okay. No,
I can hear.
Actually, that's
sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine now. That sounds better.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay. So, what else would you like to know? What else would you like to ask everybody?
I was wondering if you could see any genre of film depicted in Star Wars, i.e., a Western, a detective story, samurai, those kind of things, even a comedy if you want. What type of genre of film would you like to see them tackle? Connected to any alone film.
So, what type of genre would you like to see a Star Wars tackle film? What genre would you like to see a Star Wars film tackle? Is that what you asked?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Let's go backwards. We'll start with LDG. LDG, what would you do if you had a Star Wars film, or if you wanted to see a Star Wars film? How would you have them do it? Like comedy, drama, Western? What type of genre would you like it to be in?
Interesting. I wouldn't want to see a comedy. Didn't we already get that with Star Wars Christmas special? Let's see here.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, we already got a lower decks kind of type. Well, no, lower decks was a little bit of Family Guy-ish. I've already seen Star Wars and Robot Chicken, so that's out of it. You know what? To be honest, like you're saying, just genres like in style. We already got slapstick. I've seen Spaceballs. I'm trying to think of a Star Wars I haven't seen yet in some kind of
super chat, Chris.
Oh, thank you. I'm not even on the comments. Oh,
I know you're doing a million things at once. So,
comic chat says, Lord Vader, I think Maul and Mace would beat you. Oh God, your suit makes you too slow. What are your thoughts?
Well, I cut off his dude's arm once, and Obi-Wan cut Maul in half, and I killed him on the Death Star. So I think
when you have a force, what's with the acrobats when you can just like force somebody out an airlock?
I think I just force choke both of them from the distance, really.
Yeah, exactly. Long distance attack works fine.
Just go for it this time.
Oh jeez, we're not gonna mix mythologies here, folks.
You know what? Maybe I would like to see. I know something that might be, and it might be even somewhat comical. A Star Wars silent film, black and white.
Ooh,
that would be interesting.
I think that might be interesting with good old fashioned. You have to read it at the bottom, do kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, I can see that too with all the.
There goes Vader's breathing.
With all the stormtroopers shooting at thin air because that's what it looks like they're aiming at. And people running across
Actually, we've
left
already
and
got
right
the
and doing
music.
the whole
Cantina music would be perfect for that.
Oh, jeez.
You know?
Jesus Christ.
And you could do the little Scooby-Doo scene where you have Han Solo running from corridor to corridor, and you see some stormtroopers following him corridor to corridor, and some
I'd watch the crap out
corridor
of
to
that.
corridor. You know, I think that would work. Nice, good old silent film.
You just have in comments, Darth Vader's choking a stormtrooper.
Oh, all right. Shadow, what would you do? What would you like to see?
I would do a horror film with the Ewoks at night.
What do you have to, Lord Vader? What do you have to say about that? I mean, you got to admit that the Ewoks must have been cannibals because they sure had a ton of your stormtroopers' heads right there.
I actually don't like the Ewok itself, so I mean, any excuse to see Wicked again. If he's at least a warrior chief, I'd be down for it.
Okay, all right. Austinator, what type of genre would? Wait, what was that again, Lord Vader?
The stormtroopers are just meat in the cannon anyway, so.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting way to look at it. Austinator, what would you like to see? What type of genre would you like to see a Star Wars film made in?
You know what? I would like to see kind of like a Japanese monster movie type of Star Wars film with Lord Vader himself, because, and I'm taking this based off of Jedi Fallen Order and Rogue One. We know what kind of destruction Lord Vader can cause, and that's only 9% of his power. If he used like 9,000%, he could destroy a planet. So it would be really cool to maybe have like it take place right in between 3 and 4. I know we have a lot of that, but to have like a monster movie just with Vader like slaying, like cutting down Jedi like it's nothing would be freaking outstanding.
I think Lord Vader would be down for that.
I like the way this guy thinks. It would be like One Punch Man with Darth Vader. It would be pretty wizard.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
I mean, he can do it with ease. I mean, we've seen him do it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so
really
Japanese monster. Yeah, I mean, would you make? I mean, like, would you like make it so like he hits a button and he like increases in size and then like is like kind of like a Godzilla that just smashes and trashes everybody?
Well, I mean, they could just do what Power Rangers does and just like have like all like the ships like create like a giant Darth Vader robot.
Ooh.
And then maybe he'll have like a giant lightsaber and then they'll have like another huge like robot with a Jedi and the two fight. But then Darth Vader jumps out and just destroys that robot.
Either that or I could just visit a planet of really short aliens so I could take over their buildings and everything.
Yes, indeed. Elihu, what would you like to see? What type of genre would you like to see a Star Wars film in?
How about an old-fashioned detective murder noir style?
Who would be the detective?
The detective will have to be Han Solo, and Chewie as just a sidekick.
Nice. I like it.
Because Han shoots first. That's why.
Okay, and then and so like the main nemesis would still be like Lord Vader here.
No. Vader's the client.
Oh.
Yes, Vader's the client.
So Vader, you're going to come to me and have a problem that I have to solve.
Yes, he's looking for droids. So he's looking for 2 droids.
Wait, what was that, Lord Vader?
So it would be like Blade Runner in Star Wars.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, continue, Elihu.
Basically, he's looking for 2 droids that somehow killed 2 people called Owen and his wife and stuff like that. They're trying to look for those droids. You gotta hunt them down for him.
Oh my!
It's a hot day in Tatooine. The sun's blaring down.
Oh jeez.
So
Wookiee Harry.
So this is
episode 4.
This is Star Wars, basically in a film noir detective story. Gotcha. Okay.
Elihu.
White.
What was that, Vader?
I said be in black and white. If it's a true film noir, it need to be black and white.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. I think it should be. That's nice. Okay.
Elihu, put the fight
I have
down,
a correction.
I
have a correction, if I may, or I can go after everybody finishes.
No, go ahead.
All right, I'll take that back. The silent film, as funny, as cool as I would like to, what's the name, brought an interesting idea. I would love to see the Force literally unleashed. Dragon Ball Z Jedi. Serious freaking Force powers. I'm talking some. I want to hear some freaking. I don't care who it is, whether it's some Vader or it's freaking Yoda going. With the Force? Oh my God, that would be awesome. Oh, I would love it.
Elihu, Lord Vader, what now?
I said if it's Palpatine, it would be like the unlimited power scene. It would be pretty wizard.
Definitely.
Still would beat Starkiller, would you?
Yeah, like, because there'd be no limits on what you could do with the Force. Just unleash it all.
Wow.
Exactly. I mean, you have so many great freaking puns you could put on it too. Like when Yoda's like seeing how good Skywalker is, and he goes, "Let me see your powers." It's over
9,000 over it is.
9,000 it is.
We actually have a Dragon Ball Z parody posted to our channel. It's called Jedi Z.
That's awesome.
If you can put that in the private chat, I'll share it, or one of the guys on here that has mod privileges can share it. That'd be awesome. Hey, Robert, how you doing?
I'll let Austin do it. He needs to practice.
Okay. If you can do that. If you can't, Lord Vader, I completely understand. Dandelion Fluff, what type of genre would you like to see?
That was a tough one. I was thinking, well, maybe a psychological thriller, but then I'm like, no, I hate psychological thrillers. Star Wars doesn't need to be psychological. Then I'm thinking like a sitcom, like something really awful with Friends. But like,
Dexter's
Friends, but that would be awful too. So I think what I would actually want to do would be Looney Tunes, Coyote and the Roadrunner.
Stormtroopers already have that.
Star Wars.
Yoda and the Womp Rats.
That would sort of be a little like the silent film, but be more like, Force throwing dynamite at I just think it would be really ridiculous. So I think that's probably what I'd go with,
Okay.
People running off cliffs, but actually running off cliffs because they have, the Force and they can just run off a cliff. I think it'll be just, because all the stuff that doesn't make sense in the Looney Tunes there would actually make sense if you could use the Force.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
All right. I can go with that.
Okay, Looney Tunes, Star Wars.
Bee's Nest, there is one.
With Baby Yoda and Tweety Bird.
Nice. Nindroid, what type of genre would you do?
Okay, I would actually do a murder mystery. Believe it or not. It would be someone kills the Chancellor, actually, and basically it's about to begin like a civil war, basically, because Star Wars is not Star Wars without war in name, so we need something connecting to a war. So I was like, well, what if killing the Chancellor, killing like the president, basically, to the Republic would start a huge, massive war. So then, basically, maybe the Jedi have to hire, the Jedi Council hire a bounty hunter to maybe try and find out who that killed the Chancellor.
Cool.
I don't know.
Nice. Murder mystery. Good. I like that. Gaiskar.
I would definitely go the route of like the Jason Bourne trilogy.
Ooh.
Where instead of it's the Emperor that made super Sith soldiers to go out and murder whatever remaining Jedis out there, and then that one Jedi is the one that turns around and attacks them back, you know, being Jason Bourne.
Oh, so as
example, right? That storyline where he's turned his back and he does his own shit, something along those routes.
That would be really cool.
I like that thought. Yeah, I've been watching the Bourne trilogy or the Bourne movies actually all week, and so that's kind of awesome to bring up. I'm like, ooh, yeah, I can see that.
Definitely, that would be fire.
JJ.
Yes, Chris.
What type of genre would you do? Or would you like to see Star Wars be made in?
I had a couple ideas, 2 or 3 ideas, but after I can condense one of them and add on something that Dandelion was talking about. First off, okay, the Marvel comic book series, which shows him, you know, his progression from after Revenge of the Sith, you know, what he had to go through, who he had to hunt down, what he had to do. I would like to see a story that storyline, that particular storyline, in a Japanese anime style. And then also to add on what Dandelion was talking about, you know, kind of like Cheers, you know, what she was talking about, but call it Dexter's, the diner from episode 2. Have, you know, several of your normal characters come in, you know, to place they hang out, you know. Sometimes you might see a little side story, kind of like a Seinfeld type thing, you know, a comedy. Because, you know, they always ate at that diner. They always went to Jerry's apartment, you know, something like that, you know, just some form of comedy.
I think it could both work. You could put Jar Jar in the show as Brenner.
No,
you just call it Dex. You can just call it Dex's Diner. I mean, that actually would work.
I was thinking of, you know, like, you know, Cheers, Friends, Seinfeld. I just call it Dexter.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like that. It's kind
JJ,
of
I'm not sure if you actually remember this or not, but the new Star Wars show Visions is supposed to be anime based.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that
Lord Vader, what did you say? Lord Vader, what did you say about that?
Oh, I was saying that seeing the anime depiction of Star Wars would be really cool. I was thinking of the Visions thing as well, but I would love a full series of me hunting down Jedi. The theme song alone would be pretty wizard, because they always have great theme songs.
Okay.
I can see Jar Jar hosting like a Blues Clues or a Pee Wee's Playhouse type show.
Jar Jar's Playhouse.
Yes.
I didn't know to see that until you just mentioned it.
Nice. What would you do, Lord Vader?
Me personally, I think I would like to go back to the Old Republic days, when there were many Sith Lords and many Jedi, and do a classic swashbuckling adventure with like a pirate film, like Captain Blood, where perhaps some Sith Lords have decided, hey, I don't really want to take over the galaxy. I'll just be a pirate instead. So you basically have Star Wars galleons where people are like lightsaber dueling like old pirate films. So you still have blasters, but you'd have lightsabers would be a classic pirate film just set in the Star Wars galaxy.
But not like Cutthroat Island pirates.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What'd you say, Dandelion?
Not like Cutthroat Island, though.
No, not like that. No. More like a classic British pirate film, because that's what Star Wars was based off of. The old adventure films of the 1930s and 40s. So bringing back the Errol Flynn high seas adventure set in space, that would be really fun to see, I think.
Yeah, no, I totally buy into that. Myself, I would do something like The Ring, and that's kind of like a psychological thriller kind of thing. But I like the mix of kind of detectiveness to it. But I guess have whatever have like the Sith or Lord Vader yourself or Darth Sidious, something like that, be the one that at the very end, they find out that's who it is, and by the time they unleash it or whatever, it's way too late, and boom, everybody's in trouble. Something like that. I would go for that.
Oh, awesome idea. Okay, so Yoda, right?
Mhm.
Actually, Yoda, not that Grogu guy. Actual baby
Grogu, you
Yoda,
don't say.
and you Grogu, whatever.
Ragu.
You actually have
Ragu.
baby Rhoda,
Chris,
baby
check your
Rhoda.
phone.
Now I'm talking like freaking Scooby Doo.
Rhoda? That was a good show in the 70s. Hey, that was a good show in the 70s. Rhoda?
All right, so actually use baby Yoda when he was a baby, and you could have a show called Yoda the Explorer.
No, Explorer the Yoda is. It could be Explorer the Yoda is. That would be the correct title.
Chris, check your phone.
It would be full circle too, because he travels around in Luke's backpack, but then he'd have his little buddy backpack that helps him explore the galaxy. So it fits.
Very cool.
I'd like to see Baby Yoda as a teenager just drop off at Luke.
When he gets into his middle phase and he grows some long black hair, and he's like, "Get out of my room, Luke."
Yeah.
All right.
Say, man, get out of my room.
Or, wait, what is it?
Playing Minecraft. Get out of my room.
What is that show? Is it Maury? Well, Vader, you could host your own Maury show, and you are the father.
Oh no! No, instead of Maury, he could do Jerry Springer.
No,
that'll work. That's the whole "you are the father." You are not the father. You are the father.
Wait. Okay, Elihu. Wait. All right, Lord Vader, what were you just saying there?
I said Jerry Springer is a little too sleazy for my taste. So
okay. All right. I apologize.
For an Oprah type show.
Jerry Springer is a politician. Come on.
You get a Death Star. You get a Death Star. Everyone gets a Death Star.
Everybody gets a Death Star.
That would be dangerous, Lord Vader. I mean, I am not telling you what to do or what not to do, but perhaps something less destructive than a Death Star.
You get a TIE fighter.
Oh, there you go.
TIE fighter.
All right.
Well, he could do it. Look at all the Star Destroyers that Palpatine had.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. The only problem is when you accept the TIE fighter, you suddenly are part of Lord Vader's army.
Yeah, definitely.
The Empire.
Hey, as long as it's an interceptor, I'll be all right.
Oh, yeah, nice. Okay, Lord Vader, I think we have time for one more. At 8 o'clock our time, Lord Vader. I believe you're at Central Time because that's how awesome you are.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
I have to dip.
Okay.
I still ain't watched WandaVision yet. And
okay. Please go do that because
So I'm gonna go ahead and dip. I'm gonna dip, baby. Dip.
Oh man, we're the reason why I wanted to say something, man.
We'll say
And
something.
say it.
I got. We'll say it, man, because I like I said,
it's timing, and I was gonna say this when I first came on, which kind of screwed me up with the whole speech that I got starlighted 5 times on. For God's sake, all I was gonna say was, and I'll go with you here in a minute, guys. Make sure you watch the championship. When is the championships, by the way? This Sunday?
Or this next Thursday.
This next Thursday. Check us out. this Thursday, that's the next Thursday. This Thursday coming up is championships for the Weekly Rumble, guys. Grand championships. I want to thank everybody that I stepped on to get to where I am now. We're going to kick some ass. And for all my competitors, including JJ up here, man, you can bring whatever you think you're going to bring. Bring your best wit, bring your best arguments and conversations, your jokes and everything, because I'm going to take everything that you bring. I'm going to shine it up.
Kissing ass doesn't help.
Turn them sideways and stick them straight up. You can't do that.
Okay.
The only TV show this week that you have a chance
Okay.
of winning.
On that note, I only got one thing to say to that. Did you just kick him or did he leave?
I think he left because he's scared of what you were going to say, probably. So
Well,
save it for WandaVision.
He's still listening. No, he's still listening. And I'm only going to say it once, and he better be listening because I don't repeat myself. No matter how the championship goes, I know how the game's played. I've always known how the game is played. Chris is playing the game now the way he used to. The points are up to him. Okay? If I lose, it's because of Chris, not because of any of you.
JJ, I hope you're ready for Thursday.
I am.
Not positive about that, but okay. JJ, have a good night. I'll see you in just a little bit. Okay.
Lord Vader, it was a pleasure, man. Thank you for joining us.
It was a pleasure to meet you as well, my friend. I wish you all the
right.
success in the world in your upcoming battle.
Awesome. Thank you. Everybody, chat, panel, y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all in a little bit.
Bye, JJ.
See you later.
Later.
All right, Lord Vader, we have time for one more question because I have to get over at 8 o'clock to another stream. But what would you like to ask everybody now?
All right, well, this will be just one final quick question. I imagine we're all pretty excited about the Book of Boba Fett coming out. At least I am. Back when Boba Fett showed up on The Mandalorian, not to make any Mandalorian fans angry, I just sort of felt like, yeah, this proves it. This should have just been the Boba Fett show from the beginning, really, because he was totally wizard. So I'm pretty excited about the Boba Fett series. And I was just curious, if they brought back any classic bounty hunters or characters from Star Wars, who would you hope they bring back in the Book of Boba Fett?
If they bring back any, say that again, because I think you kind of broke up for me. If they bring back any classic what?
If they bring back any classic characters from Star Wars, who would you hope to see in the Book of Boba Fett? It could be EU, it could be anything.
Cool. All right, Gaiskar, why don't you start that one?
Definitely Mace Windu. That's
nice.
Definitely Mace Windu. Because that would be, he killed his father, right? So that would be very, like Danny was saying, fire. And
that was actually my choice. I was hoping it could possibly be a revenge tale. That he's taking over the Hutt clans to try to find Mace Windu.
Yeah, he's gonna build his own force, army of underground bounty hunters, and seek out the surviving Mace Windu to make sure that he's alive to get his revenge.
Cool. All right. Austinator.
So what characters to bring? I would bring back. Bring back to the Book of Boba Fett. Maybe bring back maybe a couple bounty hunters for it, seeing as how Boba Fett is a bounty hunter. Maybe bring back someone like Basco, or if he hasn't been killed off yet, Cad Bane. Maybe have him have like a one-off appearance. That one's maybe, if you can, maybe bring back young Luke. Maybe even young Lando. I think this question's a little. I wouldn't say it's difficult, but it's a little like, I don't know like which characters I would bring back. the only thing I can really think of is like maybe bring back a couple bounty hunters and maybe one of like the younger versions of the characters.
Mhm.
If maybe you could bring back a Han Solo if they wanted to.
Nice.
So I think that's where I would go with it.
Great. Elihu, who would you bring back? What classic characters would you like to see?
Well, you may hate me for this, but since Boa is a bounty hunter, he should be hunting for somebody on Endor and has to destroy a whole bunch of Ewoks. Kill him just to get to his bounty. I want to see some Ewok carnage, and I'm serious. The Ewoks are treated too nicely. Well, let them be the bad guys for once. Seriously,
Okay.
let them be the bad guys. Bad teddy bears.
That's
So they
pure evil.
180.
so they attack Boba Fett, and he has to just go all Mando on him.
Yes, because he's looking for his bounty, and they're hiding him. They're protecting him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Dandelion.
I was actually thinking maybe bring back Ewoks, but then I'm like, do I really want to see Ewoks again? And I'm thinking, I don't really care who they bring back, just for the love of all things, do not bring back Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, Miso agree.
Anything but that. Anything but that. I think that would be my only stipulation. Bring back anybody you want, and no Hayden Christensen either. Unless you're going to like toss him in that garbage factor.
Wait,
Sorry.
okay. What you saying?
They're going to bring they might bring Jar Jar back into the Obi-Wan series. I've heard rumors about that.
Ambassador Binks. No Ambassador Binks, please. Drown the fucker.
Yeah.
Oh,
Unless
wow.
they're all going like out the like airlock from the trash compactor. I don't know. Jar Jar and the Ewoks and Hayden Christensen, not Anakin, but the actor in that trash compactor, and then just jettison them all into the void. That would probably be good. All right. That's all.
Right.
That's
Okay.
it. That's all I got.
Shadow, what would you do?
Well, most of the characters I want back have been said, but I just want a new one, and I'm thinking of maybe the Kaminoans that created the clones. Have them back. Have Boba hunt them, and maybe I don't know. Maybe Mace Windu so it could be there, and Kaminoans are in Boba's way, so Boba has to kill his creators.
Interesting.
To get to his bounty.
Well, yeah, that's true because Boba is a clone, so that's interesting. I like the thought of that.
What's more important? Yeah, what's more important, his creators or his bounty?
It could be interesting to bring Kamino back into this, having him meet Hanwi again and to confront his past, so to speak.
Return to the makers.
Lord Vader, who would you bring back?
Well, I was going to say Mace Windu before that was mentioned, so I guess great minds think alike, but giving it some extra thought, I would also like to see Black Sun make a return. I know they brought Black Sun in from Shadows of the Empire. They brought him into the Clone Wars, that whole organization. So perhaps seeing a relation of Prince Shizor that Boba Fett interacts with would be interesting. I would also love to see them bring Dash Rendar into this series. That was something I forgot to mention about my version of the sequel trilogy. I would have had Dash Rendar in the sequels, and he would have been played by Kurt Russell. I think that would have been pretty wizard. But
yes.
Seeing Dash Rendar in the book of Boba Fett, I think would be really interesting because it would bring in some of the classic EU, and it would bring us back into that world of scoundrels and smugglers and bounty hunters. Seeing Bosk would be great. I'd love to see Zuckuss actually do something. He's just sort of the pudgy guy in the background that just stands there. But it would be cool to see if they could do something with Zuckuss. I had the 4-LOM action figure as a youngling. So some full on in there would be really cool. They wouldn't be able to use Bausch because that was just Leia's disguise, I suppose. But seeing the alien of that type could be interesting. I'm just really hoping that they will delve into some really gritty underworld stuff with the Boba Fett series, and I hope they continue the ferocity that he had in that one series. The thing I hope they don't do is just have him become the new Jabba the Hutt. Have him just a guy that just sits there in a chair and has other people do his dirty work for him.
Yeah.
I want to see
He already has the body.
Yeah. So
He already has the body for it. So hey.
No, he does not. Stop, Elihu. Jesus.
Hey, don't be fat shaming him.
I'm not. I'm admiring his dad bod. I have one too.
Plenty of dad bod to go around, I think.
All right. Well, I mean, he was mentioned, but I'll say it myself. Han Solo, definitely. They have a history, kind of. It'd be nice, I kind of hope in all of this that I did not hate Solo, a Star Wars story. I'd kind of like to see a Solo series. And again, a lot of these series can interlace and interweave within each other. And I don't know, I'd like to see Han Solo come back. But no, Dash is an awesome idea because Dash is similar to Han Solo. So it would be familiar feeling. So that would work really well. And again, Lord Vader, it's a new character that we haven't seen within the cinematic or TV or cartoon. Well, was he in the cartoons? He was in the cartoons, wasn't he?
He was never in the series.
No. He was just on. Yeah. Okay.
I got a question for you, Chris. Wasn't there a Han Solo book that predated the movies?
Well, okay. So the first two books were Star Wars, and then Splinter of the Mind's Eye, and then after that there was a trilogy that gave the origins of Han Solo.
I'm just remembering there being a book that was around even before. I remember the
There's I can't remember, something like Coruscant
or Star's End or something like that. Something like that. I
hold on.
Remember now. I will Google. Anyway, go on. Talk about other things. I'm just like.
Anyways, that's who I would bring back. It was let's see here.
Cantina?
No, there's several, but the first one was oh shoot.
Hey, what about
like
Fody?
What?
What about Fody? Nobody wants to bring back Fody?
No. I want
the book I'm thinking of was published in '79, so it would
Yeah.
after that.
It's Han Solo at Star's End. That was one of them.
Yeah, that was the one I sort of vaguely remember being out around the same time. I wasn't sure if it predated them or something.
It was Han Solo's at Star's End. That was the 1979. In 1980, he continued that trilogy with Han Solo's Revenge, and then Han Solo and the Lost Legacy. Those are the first 5 books that were released. Were Star Wars, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, and then those 3 Han Solo books, I believe, and then Empire came out.
Okay, I was curious.
And yeah, it was. I love those books, but all right. Well, Lord Vader, I really appreciate you giving us your time today. It is so great. You have an open slot anytime you'd like. Just let me know. I will have you on. I enjoy having you on.
Austinator was slide on in there.
No, stop it. Oh, show some respect. This is Lord Vader. This is not just some random crazy person that I've brought on. You should know that, Elihu. You're the random crazy person here.
Hey, I thought that was me.
Well, okay, both of you guys are. All right. So, Lord Vader, I do appreciate you being here. I'm going to let everybody else tell them about themselves again, and then I'm going to have you let us go by telling everybody one more time about your channel. But we'll start with Gaiskar real quick. Gaiskar, tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found one last time.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm going to keep it quick. You can find me here Sundays on the Real Reviews, Sundays 9 p.m. on the Round Table, Mondays 9 p.m. on the Chaotic Conversation, Tuesday 9 p.m. on the Chaos List, Wednesday, 7 p.m. on the Rule of 3, and at 10 p.m. on the OOC. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Austinator, tell everybody about yourself as you type into the chat.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? The Austinator. I do 3 shows per week. I have a show on Sunday called Shadow Eye, where we just reviewed The Office Season 4. Next week, we will be talking about our top 10 favorite Spider-Man storylines in the comics. So go check that out. Also, later on Sundays, you can find me on the weekly wrap-up here on the Real Review 3000, Chris Knight's channel. You can find me, actually later on tonight, I'm doing a Royal Rumble review, so go and check that out. And on Mondays, you can find me on JJ, A.K.A. Sith43827's channel for randomness at its finest. It's basically a formulated shit show over there. So yeah, go check that out, especially when I'm there. That's when everything goes downhill completely. Thursdays, you can find me on my channel, Splash Talk, where we read fan fiction. That's also a shit show, so go check that out. Also, you can find me on Nindroid 243's channel on Fridays for Galactic Chat, and you can find me everywhere. I'm just everywhere. I'm like a pest, I'm like one of those cockroaches. Even if like a nuclear bomb would not kill me.
Getting better.
Also, you can find me on Twitter at the Austinator17. I don't know. I use it, I guess. So if you just want to follow me and you just want to get some updates on whatever the hell I'm streaming or doing whatever, then you can check me out there. Also, I got Discord at the Austinator. Lord Vader, it was a pleasure to be just near you. It's always a pleasure to have a Dark Lord of the Sith, join whatever, things that happens. So Chris, thank you for having me on. This was great.
Awesome. Well, I enjoyed having you on as usual. I appreciate it. Who did we lose? Oh, Gaiskar ran. That's right. He went to the other stream. Okay. Up next, Elihu, tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found.
I am Elihu Who, and I can be found everywhere and nowhere at the same time. But I can actually be found specifically at 12 noon on Wednesdays on my show, What's Up with the Universe, as we talk science, astronomy, and astrophysics. All sciencey fun, yes. I break it down to you to understand. And I'm also on Twitter and, like I said, everywhere and nowhere at the same time. I'm trying to rush through, Chris.
All right. And Dandelion Fluff, tell everybody about yourself.
Sure, just random human. I like to, mostly lurk in chats. I don't have my own YouTube channel. Maybe one day I'll do stuff, but I don't have one right now. Mostly, like I said, mostly hang out in chats, occasionally hang out on a stream if someone requires an awkward redhead. I'm your person. Feel free to invite me. Bye.
Hashtag Ginger Cabal.
Hashtag
Yep. Last but not least, of the panel, Shadow, tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found, and tell them about what's coming up this Saturday.
Hello, everyone. This is Shadow Hunter. You can find me on my channel at Shadow Hunter. This Saturday, we've got The Chase, which will be Team LDG versus Team Onzo. Some of the people that we had on this panel will be a part of it, including this lunatic right above me as the host. This Tuesday, I'm going to be doing a video where it's the 5 sequels that did better than the originals. You can also find me on Twitter at ShadowHunter419, where I will be doing a lot of random batshit stuff. And if you're into that, then just go over there. Chris, thanks for having me on. And also, thanks for making me your featured creator of the week.
Not an issue. I was going to mention that here in just a second. But guys, since he brought it up, go check down in the description down below. You will see that Shadow Hunter is, of course, the featured creator of the week. And we have this great game show coming up on Saturday. Like you said, 8 p.m. Eastern, I believe, is what we're doing it at. We'd love you guys to tune in. We have a lot of help from a lot of different people, including Dandelion Fluff right here. She has helped out with this in the backstage, and I really appreciate that. But we hope to put on an awesome show for you guys, so please do check it out. Last but definitely not least, the man of the hour, or the Sith of the hour, I should say. It is Lord Vader. Lord Vader, tell everybody about yourself and what you've been up to.
First of all, thank you all for spending your time with us this evening. And thank you to all my fellow panelists here for being so generous with your time and for honoring us with your presence. We post weekly videos where we review films, we make reaction videos. Sometimes we post some silly songs. We also are working on fan film projects at the moment. We are currently in development, post-production, on Star Wars Fallen Jedi, a large fan film of the channel. It takes place between the events of Episode 3 and Rogue One. We have the first teaser of it. It was put up over a year ago, but we were delayed by all of the pandemic and all the craziness. So we only recently completed our filming. But we're working on all of the special effects and the scoring and sound design. We're a small crew, so it takes quite a while to get this done. But we're very excited to present this film to you all once it is complete, and we even have other follow-up films in the works. We're in the writing stages of those as well. And by the time we've finished with this, we're hoping to have a trilogy of films starring myself, telling the gap between Episode 3 and around the Force Unleashed time frame of the Star Wars galaxy. So the Death Star hasn't been completed yet in any of our fan films. So we have a lot of interesting storylines in the works, including Imperial initiative to run blood screens to determine people's midichlorian counts, and it's basically a totalitarian government tactic. In one of our later films, the Empire initiates a blood screening program. If you have a high midichlorian count, you are sent to these detainment camps. It's designed to keep Jedi from rising again. So that's one of our last films. That's the third film of the trilogy, Age of the Empire, that we're working on. And
that is awesome.
The sequel to Fallen Jedi, Secret of the Tombs.
Oh, great. I just
I am searching through ancient Sith catacombs looking for a holocron so I can
I froze and I hear somebody
greater
breathing.
dark side abilities. So, because I'm dissatisfied with the Emperor not teaching me all the things he promised. So, in Episode 3. So, we have a lot of side characters that are going to be showing up. We're building our group of costumes. We're going to be able to have a Mon Calamari in Secret of the Tombs.
Wow.
Got that mask, and we're building more bounty hunters for future projects, and we're going to have a lot of cool surprises in these fan films once they are complete. But for right now, we're working very hard on Fallen Jedi and some fun little Star Wars shorts. We have a Star Trek Star Wars crossover in the works right now, where we have teamed with the great YouTuber Deepfaker. He does amazing deepfake work, and he deepfaked Patrick Stewart's face on one of our actors. So it's sort of a reimagining of like if Picard was an Imperial starship, Star Destroyer captain, instead of working for Starfleet. It's basically that kind of attitude. It's a little short film where it's basically an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation set in Star Wars. So we got a lot of fun things in the works for the channel, as well as our weekly videos that we post. And I better stop rambling and let you get to that other stream you need to be on. But you can find us at Vader Reviews on Twitter. We have a Facebook page, just in case you're not getting notifications for our videos, because sometimes YouTube is wonky that way. We always post a link to our latest video on Facebook and Twitter. We have a PayPal where people can support the channel to help us continue making fan films and the weekly shows that we do. And we just post our videos every Saturday in the evenings. So tune in to Vader Reviews for weekly videos and all kinds of fun space shenanigans. So Join the Empire today, and together we will rule the internet. And I'll turn it back over to you, my friend. Thank you very much for having me on this live stream. I was honored to be a part of this.
Well, Lord Vader, like I said, you have an open space for you anytime you want. Just let me know ahead of time. I look forward to seeing Fallen Jedi because I played it last week for some of these people on the panel. The trailer that I still have. We've had you on twice about that, and we've actually maybe we just had you on once. This is the second time you've been on, I think, and we've also done a reaction video to that trailer, and everybody had on there loved it. And I know it's going to be even better than what we saw there because that was very quickly put together, if I remember right, what you told me. But it still really looks really good, and I cannot wait for it. I cannot wait to listen for myself either because you were so gracious as to give me a quick part in it, and I appreciate that very much.
I was going to mention that you're going to be one of the stormtroopers in this film. So
Indeed.
It was very gracious of you to lend your voice to our TK trooper.
And do you have the aim of your average stormtrooper?
I haven't seen the movie, so probably.
We'll have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see.
Right, Chris? Yeah.
Yeah. But if I bring my real blaster with me. Anyways, guys, I thank everybody who was in the chat today. You guys made this a great stream. Lord Vader, again, thank you so very much. I cannot wait for you to have that movie out, and I'll have you on so we can watch it and have some other people on to watch it with you. And with that said, guys, thank you very much. It's another successful weekly wrap-up. We went a little bit longer than we normally do because we had the special guest on. But everybody here, everybody who was on the panel, everybody in the chat, I greatly appreciate all of you guys for being here, and we look forward to another great week on the Real Review 3000 and Chaos Central. Thank you, everybody. Everybody say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Peace.
Bye.
Don't know the power of the dark side.
Indeed.
Hey guys, thanks for checking us out. Be sure to subscribe to both channels, and make sure to check out our friends in the Fandom Minutes. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and BitChute, and you can also send us an email at sean@sean.chaosreacts.com and Chris Knight at therealreview3000.com. Be sure to swing by our Teespring store to pick up some awesome merchandise.